So I actually just finished recording a video. In fact, it's uploading now, talking about the Piraka weapons. And I wanted to follow it up with just this sort of like kickback, relaxed video, because the Piraka weapons are really interesting to me and how that they're sort of kit bashed from weapons from previous Bionicle Wave sets, eras, whatever. And so it brought me to the logical conclusion of what if the Piraka weapons, having been kit bashed, were then kit bashed again? Like, what if you were to take these and then design weapons based on aspects of these weapons? So I did some of that. I'm going to show you 5 weapons just done in paint, literally kit bashed in paint. And then if you want to see the other 10 that I designed 15 total, then let me know that down in the comments below, and I will throw those together too, I guess. All right, so let's go ahead and hop on into the first one, the one that actually started this all. It's this weapon right here. I really like this one. I'm very proud of it. It's very simple. It's literally just this weapon, this portion of the weapon, but divided across, or mirrored across, I guess. And what I really like about this too is that not only does it look really cool as sort of like a mace weapon or even a Rakshi weapon, but it also carries over aspects of the Takanuva, the Staff of Light specifically. Many of the Toanuva weapons have similar design cues in them, but the Staff of Light specifically has this sort of like border that goes all the way around the weapon, has these little like indents that cut inward, has the holes in the blade itself. This obviously carries those over. I think I'd personally like to see this little indent on the top half of the weapon here as well. But overall, it still looks absolutely wonderful, and I'm very, very happy with the design of this. Very simple in its design, but I think it works out and comes across quite nicely. Moving on to the next one, we have this little like double hook grabber thing. Again, designed based on the Hakan weapon. It's just these hooks here, dimensionally able to grab onto like a Zammer sphere in much the same way that this one can. Go watch the video I just put out. But it's also worth noting, too, that the holes that run through this piece here are actually bar-sized, and you could fit a bar through that, so maybe you could utilize that for further connections of this piece, which I think would be a lot of fun overall. And just overall, it's just a great design. I think having this as like mandibles on an insect-type mock or something would be really, really wonderful. So, moving on to the next one, another one inspired by Hakan's weapon, this time this portion mirrored once again. Reminds me a little bit of the green rock sheet. Is it Lee Rock? Just Lee Rock? Anyway, Lee Rock's weapon a little bit, because it's a fairly wide weapon in comparison to the other Rockshi weapons, and it starts off fairly shallow as well. There's a word for that, but I can't think of it. Anyway, but yeah, overall, very happy with the design of this one too. This one, I couldn't tell you exactly what the tool is supposed to be in universe. Like the other two, I could see, you know, it's a mace, right? You could use it for chopping trees or whatever. You could use it for, pretend it's a double-sided axe, whatever. But obviously you can use it for battle. The hook's a grabber, right? This one, I think, maybe like a pneumatic hammer of some kind, but we'll see another one that looks like that here in a moment. And clearly this one is able to hold a bar in much the same way as the Hakan weapon, though someone mentioned actually maybe changing that over to an axle hole, so you could connect other things to it as well. I think that's a good idea, and definitely possible here as well. So let's move on to the next one. This one here, this is actually inspired by Avok's weapon, notably the back blade on this one. I really like this one because it's got sort of like a mechanical feather appearance to me. So using something like this on a bird type mock, just stacking multiple of them would be wonderful, and I'd really love to do that. So yeah, really like this one overall, but the overall design is pretty self-explanatory. Probably the most similar weapon that we have to this is Takadox's weapon, although this would be substantially smaller, you know, because I'm talking about this portion of a weapon here with a pinhole and an axle. So it would only roughly be like that long-ish. I'd maybe scale it up a little bit, but overall, yeah, it's cool. I like it. All right, moving on to the last one for this video specifically, and it's just this little like double piston hammer thing on the front here, but just made a little bit cleaner, I guess. I don't know. And I like it. I'm really happy with the design of this one too, much the same as all the others, not toot my own horn, I guess. But yeah, it's really straightforward. Single pinhole, single axle, nothing fancy. Anyway, that's it. If you want to see the other 10 designs I have, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll make another video just like this one. And maybe sometime in the future, I will throw these together in Blender or something. We'll see. Anyway, take care.